Hello everyone, welcome back to Pascale's Kitchen. This is season 2 and this will be episode 21. Can you believe we've already done 20 episodes? I'm so excited. I'm thrilled to get on to the next season. But before we do that, I wanted to tell you about a few changes that are coming down the road. So the first thing is that the episodes for season 2 are going to come every 2 weeks. And that is because we're in the middle of production on my new cookbook. I'm very excited. It's the third in this series. This was the second one, les fruits and salade. So salade, les fruits, and the next book in the market table series is les légumes, vegetable dishes from the market table. It's packed with vegetable dishes. The book will be out in the autumn and there'll be lots more information coming in the weeks to come. And if you want to get one of the pre-publication offers, all you need to do is to subscribe to the newsletter. The link is on the lots of links that we have below here, including the recipe for today's dish. What is today's dish? Well, today we're going to make banana date cake, a quatre quarts, pound cake if you like. Quatre quarts is a dish which I learned to make when I was really small, and the great thing about this is that it's all made in a saucepan, unusually for a cake. But the entire thing is made in a saucepan with the exception of whisking egg whites. So I'm just going to take you through the ingredients. As I said, it's bananas and dates. And what you need for quatre quarts pound cake is equal parts of the main ingredients. So the base ingredients of the cake are egg, sugar, butter and flour, and they all need to weigh the same thing. So in this case, it's 8 ounces of each one, plus a few bananas, and these are some dates that have been chopped up. The very, very first thing we need to do is to melt the butter and the sugar together, and we're going to do that in a saucepan. So I'm going to take these over and we will start all of that. So to make the cake, what do we need to do? Well, the first thing is to melt the butter, and we're going to pop that into this saucepan, which is over medium heat. So once the butter has completely melted, then you add the sugar. And once you've added the sugar in, you want it to cook enough so that the granules of the sugar melt, so it becomes completely soft and smooth before you add in any of the other ingredients. I'm just going to stir this together and I'm going to let it cook for about a minute or two. Once the butter and the sugar have all melted together, you can add the flour and the dates and the mashed bananas. So it's 8 ounces of flour. Mix this all together. Turn down the heat to low at this point. It's so convenient being able to make the entire cake in a pan. There we go. All right, added that. And then the mashed bananas, which I like to mash them using a potato masher. It's very convenient. You can do it with a fork, of course. And this was 4 bananas. 4 medium-sized bananas. If you have 3 really enormous bananas, that's fine too. And then 10 dates. And at this point, I switch the heat off. The dates need to be chopped up. If you can find pitted dates that are already chopped, that's perfect too. These are medjool, but any kind of date will work. They melt and disappear into the cake as the cake cooks, and it gives this lovely little sweetness that you find in the cake. So once these are all mixed in, we're going to add the egg yolks. Now you have to be careful when you add the egg yolks, because if this is too hot, obviously it'll cook the eggs. So I just let it cool down for a minute or two before adding the eggs and switch the heat off. And then we'll add those, and after that we'll whisk in the egg whites. So another minute before I add these in, just so it cools down. Now pop in the eggs. You can just put them all in at the same time and stir, whisk them in. Once you've done this, you'll get this really sort of creamy, it looks like a very thick batter, and there'll be probably some lumps of the bananas in there, and that's fine. That adds some nice texture to the cake. There. So at this point, we're ready to add the egg whites, which we need to whisk. And I'm going to do that over here. So now we're going to add the egg whites to this batter and just pop this on. So as soon as you get soft but almost firm peaks, that's when you want to use the egg whites. So I'm just going to check that they're the right consistency, and I like to do that by just standing my whisk in, and it should just hold in place. And this is just right. Now, what we're going to do is fold in the egg whites. I like to use a spatula to do this, rather than the spatula, the wooden one. And I take about 1/3 of the mixture and put it into the pan and fold that in. Go around the outside and then fold it over the top. And you can be fairly quick about this. And then the rest of the egg whites, you want to be very gentle with them, as if you'd make a souffle, you'd know, same motion. So once the first batch of egg whites are folded in, then carefully fold in the rest of the egg whites. So I put everything in one go. And then, using a circular motion going around the outside of the pan, bring the batter up over the top of the egg whites. And I just keep doing this until all the egg whites are incorporated into the cake batter. And be patient with it. It takes a couple of minutes to do this. You don't want to break all of those nice air bubbles. Once everything is incorporated, then we'll pop everything into a prepared cake tin. This is lined with parchment paper. If you prefer to just have it buttered, you can do that. And it doesn't have to be loaf shaped. It can be any shape that you like. It's going to cook in a 400-degree oven for 30 minutes. And you just need to put in a knife just to check that it comes out clean. And that's your telltale sign that the cake is ready. So I'm going to pour this into the prepared cake tin, and then we'll pop it in the oven. All right, 30 minutes. Here is the cake straight out of the oven. Remember to check it with a knife to make sure that the knife comes out clean, then you know that it's cooked all the way through. I'm just going to pop it on this lovely serving plate, so I invert it. Be careful when you do this, because obviously the tin is hot. I peel the paper off, and then look at that, delicious. There we go, lovely banana date cake. And I like to serve it with some berries and perhaps a little bit of cream on the side. But this is a yummy treat to have for a picnic. Actually, it's a great thing to take on a picnic. You can bake it in one of those disposable molds, and then you can just carry it like that. And it multiplies really, really well. So if you're having a crowd over for a holiday weekend or a big party, this is the cake to make. You can ice it too. It's lovely with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. And I'm just going to let this cool just a little bit more, and then I'm going to have a slice with a cup of tea. I hope you've enjoyed episode 21. I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks. And don't forget to subscribe, please, to Pascale's Kitchen cooking channel. Thanks so much. Bye.